But you know what? In my eyes. The rest is just. It's a beautiful. No, I think we're walking. I think we are getting ready to read one of the city. I just want you. Sure, good to see you. Let's go. I'm good. Yeah.
Having my son off.
Folks. I know everybody's having fun. We're a couple minutes overdue. We're gonna do the roll call. The Commission in Chicago Landmark, regular meeting. Today's date is August 7th. Are we on record, by the way? We are, okay, good. Just want to make sure. Okay, roll call. Commissioner, Vice Chair, Commissioner Beckman. Here. Commissioner Boyd.
Here.
Commissioner Burns.
Here.
Commissioner Fair. Here. Commissioner Ponce is not here. Commissioner Rubin. Here. Commissioner Tolliver. Present. And I am Commissioner Wong. We do have a quorum. I'd like to ask anyone wishing to make a statement on today's agenda to complete a public comment card. Give the card to a member of the staff. Comment cards are available at the door as a courtesy to other individuals wishing to offer comments. We ask that members of the general public limit your statements to 3 minutes or less. When the time comes for public comment on the individual item on the agenda, I'll call names from the cards and ask you to come forward or stand up. And make a statement. Please state your name and the interest, organization, or company you represent, if any. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of July 10th, 2025. Those are included in the package. If there's no other discussion, I'd like to request a motion to approve the minutes. So move Commissioner Burns, second.
Second.
Commissioner Rubin, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Commissioner, the motion carries unanimous. Second item on the agenda is citywide adopt a landmark fund application for Pioneer Arcade located at 1535 North Westy Road in the 26th Ward. And John. Thank you, Commissioner. It's all yours.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here with an overview of the Adopt a Landmark Grant Award for the Pioneer Arcade building. The $510,000 Adopt a Landmark grant was preliminarily awarded to Hispanic Housing Development Corporation and was one of the 13 projects selected as part of the DBD's 2023 Adopt a Landmark funding round. As you will likely recall, all Adopt a Landmark projects must come before the Commission when their scopes of work and budgets are finalized. The Pioneer Arcade is located at 1539 North Pulaski Road in the 26th Ward, Humboldt Park Community and West Planning areas. Completed in 1925, the Pioneer Arcade was designed by Danish-born Chicago architect Jens J. Jensen for Greek-born entrepreneurs Gus Regas, Spiros Regas, and Peter Danigelis. The Spanish Baroque Revival style structure, conceived as an elaborate entertainment and social center for Chicago's growing Humboldt Park community, is one of the last remaining large-scale commercial buildings that formed a neighborhood commercial center at the intersection of North Avenue and Pulaski Road, formerly Crawford Avenue, as represented by the Red Star in the area. As one of Chicago's grandest urban sports halls surviving from the 1920s, the Pioneer Arcade stands as an important illustration of the development of America's 20th century leisure culture, embodied in the games of bowling and billiards. With its impressive ivory-colored terracotta facade, Pioneer Arcade is the most ornate and intact example of the Chicago commercial recreation center type, a commercially run bowling and billiard hall still standing. The Pioneer Arcade building was designated a Chicago landmark in 2023. You may recall that the significant features of the designation included the front portion of the building, which was defined as the first approximate 35 feet of the building, which includes not only the front facade, but portions of the north and south facades too. Under the designation, the rear portion of the building, 85 feet behind the front portion, is allowed to be demolished. The designation was further defined by allowing for the development of a new construction 6-story building behind the front portion of the building, as well as to the south of the designated structure. The overall development is a 60-unit affordable elderly housing project on the site. The $510,000 Adopt a Landmark Award will address condition issues on the landmark building only, primarily on the main front facade, including terracotta work, other masonry work, window and storefront work. The project also includes masonry work to the north and south facades, as well as interior lobby work. New storefronts and windows will be installed to match the historic configuration on the front facade. Terracotta units will be repaired, reset, or replaced as needed to address all the condition issues on the front facade. Common brick on the north and south elevations will also be replaced where needed and pointed. As previously stated, the Adopt a Landmark Grant Award is $510,000, and before you is the complete detailed scope of the work that I just summarized. It should be noted that the total cost for the entire project is in excess of $36 million. And of course, that includes the new construction components of the building. While none of the new construction costs are Adopt a Landmark eligible, as you can see, the eligible Adopt a Landmark costs well exceed the grant amount by as much as $1.6 million. Similar to all of PPD's Adopt a Landmark projects, the project will be subject to certain Adopt a Landmark conditions as well, including that the applicant shall notify the commission staff of undocumented detrimental conditions found during the work. The applicant shall enter into an escrow agreement to assure that the landmark project is completed and paid for in a timely manner. And final payment from the Adopt a Landmark funds is subject to certification by the commissioner of the department that the project was completed in accordance with the requirements of the Adopt a Landmark funds, the project scope of work and budget, the agreement, and the landmark guidelines. Thank you. That concludes my report. Department of Housing staff should be here to confirm, as well as Hispanic Housing Development Corporation. Alderman Fuentes has indicated her support of the overall project.
Thank you, John. The Alderwoman, is she? or representative? No. Do you want to say?
Good afternoon, Tony Hernandez, President of Hispanic Housing. I want to thank the commission for your consideration today. We're very excited. Hispanic Housing has owned this property for a number of years and been programming its redevelopment. We're, of course, very excited to be bringing these 60 units of affordable housing, critically needed senior housing to Humboldt Park, but also to be preserving a rich piece of the cultural history of the community. So really appreciate the consideration and the excellent assistance.
Thank you. Thank you. Does the commission have any questions on either gentleman no? Any questions? Well, we have, Mr. Miller.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon, commissioners and Mr. Chairman, Ward Miller, Richard H. Streethouse, Executive Director of Preservation Chicago. We are very much in support of this development. This is one of our Chicago 7 most endangered, going back more than a decade. It was landmarked 3 years ago. There's been a number of false starts. Over time, we've been meeting with Hispanic Housing and former Director Paul Roldan, who's been very gracious, and we are very excited to see this project move forward. And this will be a cornerstone of new development as we see it in Humboldt Park. And just wanted to point to another landmark that languishes, the Pioneer State Bank, almost directly across the street from this, and to the west across North Avenue, still continues to languish. So we've really been concerned about these 2 buildings for quite some time. But we are in full support of this adopt a landmark recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Board. Any other further discussion on this item? If not, I'd like to request a motion to approve a resolution for the citywide Adopt a Landmark Fund grant for the Pioneer Arcade. So moved. So moved by Commissioner Beckles, second by Commissioner Fair. Do a roll call. Commissioner Boatright.
Yes.
Commissioner Burns.
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin.
Yes.
Commissioner Tolliver. Yes. And I'm a yes as well. The motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Good stuff. Let's see. Next item on the agenda is the final landmark recommendation for the Fred C. Beeson House number 4, located at 5830 West Midway Park in the 29th Ward in Florida. Yes.
So last month's meeting, the Commissioner Boatright recommended approval of the proposed landmark designation of the Fred C. Beeson House number 4. And since that time, the owner, Mr. Adrian Navarre, provided us with a signed consent for the designation. So we're bringing this final recommendation to the Commission today. The property is located, as Commissioner Wong said, at 5830 West Midway Park. That is on Chicago's west side. Of course, located in the Austin community. The home sits on a large lot with the garage at the northeast corner. The Commission preliminarily recommended the home meets 3 criteria for designation, including criterion 1 for heritage. So in 1865, developer Henry W. Austin bought several hundred acres east of Oak Park. The land was adjacent to the tracks of the Chicago and Northwestern Railway, and a year later, a railroad station was built at Central Avenue in Austin. It was the first suburban station on the Galena division of the railway. Henry W. Austin subdivided his property in phases, making improvements as he went to entice potential purchasers. He donated 4 acres for a park in the center of the village, Olden Park, and planted thousands of trees along the village's streets. This 1867 ad for the auction of newly subdivided lots notes all of these amenities, adding that, quote, "The town is beautifully laid out, broad streets." By 1874, Austin's population had grown to around 1,000 residents. Henry Austin had envisioned his property developing into a railroad suburb. In the latter part of the 19th century, developers planned these outlying communities around commuter railroads. Oversized lots provided ample space for substantial single-family homes in a refined country-like setting. Real estate speculators touted them as being removed from the congestion and pollution of the city, but with excellent transportation, as they were intended to entice the middle and upper class executives and professionals who made their money in the city. It was not until better than hourly suburban train service was established in the 1880s that much of the Austin community's growth really began, however. Architect Frederick Schock was hired to design a new train station at Austin Avenue in 1886. After its completion, undeveloped properties, especially those close to the new station, began to sell more swiftly. By the 1890s, Austin's population was estimated to be around 4,000. This 1895 Sanborn map on the left shows the proximity of Midway Park to the Chicago and Northwestern Railway line seen at the bottom of the map with the arrow. It also shows the large lots along Midway Park and adjacent streets, which ranged from 40 up to 100 feet in width. At right is a postcard showing the 5800 block of Midway Park from circa 1908 as it looked after trees had matured. Architect Frederick Schock built his own residence at the corner of Midway Park and Menard in 1886. You can see it on the right in this image. To the left, the home with a porch featuring tapered stone piers is the second home that Schock designed for Fred C. Beeson in 1892. And in the distance, just under the boughs of the trees, you can see the third home Schock designed for Beeson in 1901. Beeson House number 4 would be built in between them. Beeson fit the profile of the type of person attracted to a railroad suburb like Austin. The Chicago Veneer Factory, where he worked, was at 507 West Kinsey in Chicago, directly opposite the Chicago and Northwestern line, which led to Austin. And if I had a drum, I would be doing a drum roll now, because I found something that I have not seen anywhere else, and I'm very excited. I'm such a geek about research. Fred Beeson, ta-da, and Frederick Schock. So Beeson had worked his way up in the Chicago Veneer Company and was finally secretary and manager when he first asked Schock to design a home for him in Austin, which was completed in 1887. In this 1885 photograph, Fred Beeson is posing with his teammates of the Austin Baseball Club, the year they defeated rival Oak Park to become champions. At right is a young Frederick Schock. Schock understood the value of connections for his architecture business, and Fred Beeson was a member of the social club that Schock had helped to establish in 1882, the Oaks Club. This membership organization became the center of social life for many prominent Austin citizens, a number of whom were clients of Schock. Schock also took an active role in Austin's civic life. When the library committee desired a new location, Schock was on the board, and the structure was designed to be a joint public library and home for the Oaks Club. Schock also became involved in politics, successfully running to be on the Cicero Township Board and subsequently its president in 1889. So at left is the 1887 Austin Library and Clubhouse for the Oaks, partially paid for and built on land donated by Oaks Club member Henry W. Austin. This was just one of the institutional buildings Schock was asked to design. At right is the Austin Public High School by Schock, built in 1890. He also designed commercial architecture. In 1885, a large commercial block containing a hotel, post office, stores, and halls for private clubs like the Masons and Oaks Club burned down, and the owner asked Schock to draw up plans to replace it. He was also asked to build dozens of private residences and to remodel existing ones. With this portfolio of private and public, institutional and commercial properties, Schock was the preeminent architect for Austin and helped to establish the visual identity of the suburb in its boom years of the 1880s and beyond. After its annexation in 1899, the heart of Austin continued to maintain its independent suburban identity. Though the community of Austin expanded and density increased as Austin continued to experience population growth through the 1930s, most of the grand homes on large lots in the central section of Austin remained. The Fred C. Beeson House number 4, constructed in 1920, is a testament to the steadfastness of the neighborhood's early character. The construction of this home by Chicago factory executive and owner Fred C. Beeson and his social connections with its architect Frederick Schock reflect both the economic and social character of railroad suburbs like Austin that developed around Chicago in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. So in addition to criterion 1, the commission also found that the home meets criterion 4 for exemplary architecture. 5830 consists of the main 2-story house and its garage at the northeast corner of the lot. The home and the garage are constructed with the same red brick masonry cladding. They also share the same basic box form with side gable roof and elements of decoration such as the stepped brick under the raked sides of the gable. The home is an excellent example of residential architecture in the colonial revival style, one of the nation's most ongoingly popular styles during the 20th century, but one seen much less frequently in Chicago. It possesses numerous features characteristic to the style, including the rectangular 2-story box form, the moderately pitched side gable roof, and the red brick masonry exterior, as well as double-hung multi-light windows and the concentration of decoration on the central door and entry. Other colonial revival characteristics include classical details like the pointing at the building's corners and the porch's columns and pediment. Schock was a masterful designer, using such details to enliven this relatively staid colonial revival house. As the last in a series of distinctly different homes by architect Frederick Schock, commissioned by Fred C. Beeson, this home and its precedents reflect the changing architectural styles which were popular as Austin, the railroad suburb, was established and became a Chicago neighborhood after its annexation in 1899. Finally, the commission found that Frederick Schock is a significant architect whose work impacted the direction of architecture in the city and beyond. Frederick Schock was born in Chicago in 1854. After graduating from public high school in 1872, he apprenticed with architect Henry Lord Gay, who himself had worked for architect W. W. Boyington. Schock moved on to the offices of Solon S. Beeman in 1880 and worked on the development of Pullman. After only 2 years with Beeman, he set up his own design firm. Schock designed residences, apartment buildings, and institutional and commercial structures across the city in neighborhoods including Uptown, Kenwood, and Logan Square, and in suburbs such as Park Ridge, Oak Park, and River Forest. But his impact was greatest in Austin, where he built a relatively large concentration of residences as well as public and commercial buildings. Frederick Schock's work illustrates the richness and creativity of Chicago's architectural community at the end of the 19th and beginning of the 20th century. In his own showpiece home and others created during his early years in Austin, Schock experimented with the ornate Queen Anne style, at times simplifying and abstracting it as the shingle style took shape. Architecture historian Alice Sinkovich argued that Schock's work directly influenced Frank Lloyd Wright during that famed architect's early years in the suburb of Oak Park. Many historians have observed that the shingle style was a formative influence on Frank Lloyd Wright and on his subsequent Prairie School designs. On the left is the Marie Schock House from 1888, which Frederick built for his mother. This rare example of a small-scale shingle-style residence combines most features of the style, including exaggerated gables, broad surfaces of shingle cladding, and minimal trim. Its success as an example of inexpensive yet attractive design caused it to be published in a national architectural magazine. On the right is Wright's own house and studio in Oak Park, 1889. It's an important example of the shingle style and clearly has similarities to the Marie Schock house. And here on the left is the Henry Austin house. At right, another view of Frank Lloyd Wright's home and studio. So in 1887, Schock completely remodeled the Austin home inside and out, as you see it here. This home stood across the street from where Wright initially lived when he moved to Oak Park in 1888. Considering the internationally recognized design genius of Wright, his emulation of, or at very least the similarity of design to Schock's designs constitutes high praise for Schock's work. Schock was a prolific architect. The grand scale and quality of his designs for residential as well as public buildings helped to give the railroad suburb its distinctive identity during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His civic and institutional buildings, such as the public high school in Austin here, included the Chicago and Northwestern Railway Depot as well. Frederick Schock, previous slides show the now demolished commercial and institutional buildings, including the Austin Avenue Railway Depot, the library and clubhouse, and the high school, all demolished. But fortunately, 2 prominent remaining buildings are the Cicero Township Fire Station and the Austin State Bank Building. Although overshadowed in architectural history by the advance and embrace of the Prairie School of Architecture, The work of Schock has an enduring quality. Schock was a particularly skillful interpreter of popular styles and has a significant body of work throughout Chicago, its suburbs, and beyond, much of which still remains. And finally, the commission found that the Beeson House number 4 meets the separate integrity criterion. Both the home and the garage have an outstanding level of integrity in form and materials. This even includes the original 8/8 double hung windows of the home and the original paneled garage doors, which is amazing. In the final recommendation, the significant historical and architectural features of the property are identified as all exterior elevations, including roof lines, the house and garage. We have a letter of support from Alderman Taliaferro, and the owner, Mr. Navarre, is here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Does the commission have any questions for Ken? Okay. All right, well, would you like to make a statement?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Adrian Navarre, owner of 5830 West Midway Park. Just want to thank the commission and thank you, Candlin, for your continuous work here. It's very important and exciting, not only to myself and my family, but the entire Austin community. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. You're like, what, 4 kids or something?
3 kids.
3 kids,
Yeah.
almost 6.
Yeah.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for that? If not, floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. So for the record, Ward Miller, Treehouse Executive Director of the nonprofit organization Preservation Chicago. We're very pleased to see this come before the commission. Want to thank the owner, Adrienne Navarre here, and the commission for wonderful research comparing some of their projects, some of Schock's projects to Frank Lloyd Wright's projects in Oak Park, specifically his home and studio. That's amazing, amazing research. So thank you on behalf of all of us here. We very much support this landmark designation. We would really like to see more of Schock's buildings preserved looking to the future and landmarked, and also look at maybe a landmark district along all of Midway Park. It's really a beautiful street. We now have 5 buildings that are landmarked. Maybe we should be looking at a larger idea for Midway Park that would really embrace this street as a gorgeous street, which it is, and also be a cornerstone for really positive redevelopments and preservation in the Austin community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ward. Is there any further discussion on this item? Now I'd like to request a motion to adopt the final landmark recommendation. The city council for the Fred C. Beeson House number 4. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Move Commissioner Boatright, second. Second by Commissioner Burns. Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Fair.
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin.
Yes.
Commissioner Tolliver. Yes. And I am a yes as well. The motion carries. Congratulations. Item number 4 is a Class L property tax incentive application for the field building located at 135 South LaSalle Street in the 35th Ward. And I believe this is your.
Good afternoon, commissioners. The project for you is one of the RFP finalists chosen as part of DPD's LaSalle Corridor Revitalization Initiative. Site's located in the 34th Ward, and Alderman Conway has provided the letter of support dated July 8th. The landmark 44-story field building is an early 1930s Art Deco tower designed by Graham Anderson White that was constructed over a period of 6 years. Completed in 1934, the field building was the last major downtown construction project built between the stock market crash in 1929 and the mid-1950s when development resumed. Currently, 83% of the building's 1.35 million rentable square feet is vacant, which is why this building was selected as a LaSalle Corridor Revitalization finalist. The development partners from AmTrust, Riverside, and DL3 Realty have submitted detailed architectural plans, which were reviewed and approved with several conditions at last month's meeting of the Plan Review Committee. The team proposes to substantially rehabilitate the historic office building in phase 1 for residential and commercial uses, shown in red on the diagram on the right. The basement level, ground floor, and second floor will accommodate commercial retail uses. Moving up the building, green levels 3 and 4 will become enclosed parking, access from the north alley. And the orange colored floors 5 through 14 will be converted into residential apartments. Roof levels 5 and 25 are designed to serve as residential amenity spaces. The remainder of the building, which has historically been used as offices, would remain available for future development and reoccupancy. In addition to Class L, the applicant is pursuing federal historic tax credits in coordination with the state historic preservation office. Exterior Class L eligible work will include repair of the granite building base and upper floor masonry units, reestablishing, based on historic documentation, a larger roof opening on the LaSalle elevation to create a dedicated residential entrance and lobby beyond, which is depicted here in the rendering on the right. Obscured window openings will also be restored to clear glazing and trimmed with metal frames to match the historic openings. Window sashes on the bottom 4 floors will be retained and restored. On residential floors 5 through 14, new windows replicating the appearance of the historic double hung sashes will be installed. However, the lower sash will be an operable awning window to meet code requirements. Cast aluminum spandrel panels will be preserved in place. Circled in red are non-historic mechanical penthouses that were constructed above the 4 corners of the 25th floor. These housings will be removed, new roof surfaces installed, outdoor amenity spaces created in their place. As part of the 1994 landmark designation, the interior arcade was identified as a character-defining feature to be preserved. Several display windows will be minimally altered, but the remainder of the arcade's materials and finishes will be preserved as is. The location of those display window modifications is indicated on this floor plan by the 5 blue dots. Toward the top of this image in the northern side aisles, horizontal red bars indicate where new clear glass security turnstiles will be installed at various elevator banks. Based on budget estimates, the project team expects to spend approximately $241.6 million in the field building rehabilitation. The minimum required investment to qualify for Class L on this building is $17 million. $17,159,076. And that is excluding all other incentives that the project will be receiving. The size and scope of Class L eligible expenses for the project amounts to just over $190 million. So the rehabilitation scope is exceeding the minimum requirement by $173 million. Tax calculations indicate that current annual taxes for the property are $396,409 per year. At the end of the Class L period in year 13, when the freeze expires, that will be $953,038. So an increase of $460,696. The estimated net benefit to the taxing districts is $160,600. Total tax payment to the applicant will be $4.4 million, and the city's share of that will be just over $1 million. Staff recommends the commission proceed with a favorable recommendation for this Class L application for City Council's consideration. This concludes my presentation. We also have members of the project team available. Alex Barhoff, Director of Acquisitions and Development on behalf of ownership, Liz Gracie, who's partnered with O'Keefe, Lyons and Hines, as well as Bridget O'Keefe, the project attorney with Marshall.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for Alicia?
Just curious.
Yeah.
I have a curiosity on just like, for the future of, the office, the striation of the residential between office. How hard is it to keep going up if you wanted to add more residential features? Is that something that you're designing in there? Is that easy to do? Like, I'm just curious.
It's possible. Actually, the building's really well laid out for office to residential conversion. So it's certainly possible. We're looking at that as potential.
You have enough
phases.
elevators.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of elevators that is actually useful for running ductwork and
Okay.
plumbing. It's fantastic.
Fun fact, just for the record, if I may, this is our second largest conversion, just in terms of the number of units of the 6 tip assisted projects. So to see this many residential units come online in this conversion is really awesome. Awesome to see, and awesome use of this building and space. So excited to see there's potential for more, because you guys are number 2 in terms of the number of units coming online. It's great.
What is the schedule of this?
It will be stable, we'll start construction, fingers crossed, spring of 2026.
Okay,
And about 18 months construction, and then another 18 months of estimated lease up to stabilization. So we're about 3 years away from stabilized, 2028.
Another question we had was, do you have amenity floors currently, or?
Yeah, so if you want to flip back, we have a rooftop amenity space on floor 20, on floor 25, where we have 4 rooftop terraces that will be programmed with residential amenities, and then the entire 25th floor will be converted with, indoor amenity space.
Any other questions?
Just one thing I'd like to add is that this Class L is going to be dedicated to the pen that does the commercial use. And so the first lower level and first 2 floors of the building, which will be used for commercial purposes, are 90,000 square feet. And they're going to serve as the key retail day-to-day operations to support all the residential units that'll be created as part of LaSalle Street Reimagined. So we're thinking, fitness center, grocery store, things like that. So that's why this Class L will be so helpful to help make those spaces marketable.
Thank you. That's all I understand. Yeah, talked about the amenities, the commercial space actually is in for the downtown area as well. So that's great. Any other questions? If not, Ward?
Yes, again, for the record, Ward Miller, Treehouse Executive Director of Preservation Chicago. This is a really exciting project. Congratulations to the team, to the city, to the department for bringing this forward. It's an amazing building. It's been a landmark for more than 31 years. Before COVID, this was a busy beehive. It is now a mostly vacant space. When you cut through the building, you're oftentimes the sole person along with the security guards there. So this is really a wonderful development project. Just want to mention that, with the landmark designation and the Class L, we're also honoring the site of the first steel frame building or first skyscraper that was on the site by William LeBaron Jenney, replaced by an even bigger skyscraper in the 1930s. That is a landmark. So really a celebrated site. We just wanted to offer that there are some really beautiful spaces that are not called out as significant features in the landmark designation, like the concourse level, the attic club, the former attic club that's at the top of the building. It'd be wonderful if the development team would work within those historic spaces to keep them as they are as much as possible. So just wanted to make that small request. The concourse level is very much in the Art Deco style. This is below grade, below the lobby. It's a really gorgeous space. Unfortunately, it wasn't caught in the landmark designation, but we wanted to encourage any historic features that are found that are not protected. If they could be integrated, we just very much appreciate that. I think it'll make it a better project. Alex, I know you and the team will do that. So I just wanted to make that as a public statement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ward.
Mr. Chairman, can we also say thank you to the staff for
Absolutely.
all their hard work? It was a hard project. It's been very complicated on many levels. So we want to thank everybody for their time.
It's a big project. This staff does work very, very hard. Appreciate that.
Best staff in the city.
There you go. There you go. Nobody else has signed up to speak. I'd like to request a motion to approve the recommendation to City Council for the Class L property tax incentive for the field building. Is there a motion? So moved. So moved, Commissioner Tolliver.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Dekowitz. Commissioner Boatright.
Yeah.
Commissioner Burns.
Yes.
Commissioner Fair.
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin.
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Class L property tax incentive final certification for the Illinois Bell Building located in 225 West Randolph Street in the 42nd Ward. It's zero cells.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Rehabilitation of the former Illinois Bell Building has been completed. And the resolution before you is for final certification of the Class L scope of work and budget. Certification is the Commission's final action and enables the building owner, 225 West Randolph Owner LLC, to complete their application with the Cook County Assessors. On January 27th, 2021, the City Council designated the Illinois Bell Building as a Chicago landmark and approved a Class L real estate property tax incentive for the building at the same meeting. The 31-story building, designed by Oliver and Root in the new formalist style, was constructed in 1966 and served as the regional offices of the Bell Operating Company, once the largest telephone company in the United States. This building consolidated staff from Illinois Bell's 8 separate city offices into one central location. At its peak, the company employed roughly 36,000 workers in the Chicago area. Architecture is indicative of mid-century modern office design with its pronounced particle marble piers, curtain wall windows, double height ground floor colonnade, and cantilevered slab roof. A copy of the Class L ordinance and exhibits, as well as the final report from the owner which documents the completed project, was in your packets. Ownership commenced the project in early 2021, maintaining the use for office, but with substantial upgrades to meet the demands of present-day tenants. These images show existing conditions prior to the start of work. Exterior rehabilitation included marble and granite repair, full window replacement, and cleaning of all facades. One of the existing square planters in the surrounding plaza, which is that lower central photo, was removed. There are multiple, to create a clear pathway to a new central entrance on the Randolph Street elevation. That new entrance and metal canopy is shown in the upper right image. Seating was also installed within the landmarked plaza area, and an existing war memorial to former Illinois Bell employees was repaired. The image on the left is the full building post-rehabilitation. At the rooftop, a new 34th floor amenity level was constructed, which features both interior and exterior gathering spaces for the building tenants. These shots just show some of the work that was done on the upper floors. Typical of many Class L office projects, the upper floors were basically all the non-historic finishes were stripped out so that they could be ready for white box condition for the new tenants to come in and do that improvement on their own. To the left is just an example of the elevator lobby on the lower floor, but all of the common elevator lobby spaces throughout the building were part of the scope of work. And this shows on the left, pre-project, there were a couple different retail tenants on the ground floor that had partitioned off the corners of the ground floor space. And part of the project was to remove those partition walls and bring it back to a truly open floor plan on the ground floor. So the ground floor almost functions more like a hotel lobby and is activated with different types of spaces. These are just more finished pictures of the lobby. On the right is a restaurant space. My slides are stuck. Okay, we're trying to figure that out. The initial budget for the Class L eligible expenses was estimated at $117.9 million. After the project scope was further refined, including scaling back build out of the basement, and creating greater efficiencies by sourcing materials locally. The owner has spent $79.3 million on Class L eligible scopes of work, which exceeds the required minimum investment by approximately $10 million. In total, the owner invested $293,289,850 in the project. The work also met requirements of the Chicago Sustainable Development Policy. Staff recommends that the commission certify completion of the Class L project. Representatives of the owner are here to make us, to respond to any questions that you may have. We have Paul Purewall, Vice President of Development with Ani Group, and Mariah DeGrino with DLA Piper. We're happy to address any questions. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Does commission have any questions for the issue this time? Anyone? Paul, would you like to make a statement?
I just want to say thank you to all the city staff and the commissioners. It's been a really great pleasure to work with all of you and just to get us to the finishing point of the project. It's been a huge success for us. We're 85% leased, and the asset is occupied by 3 tenants. We're moving people in slowly. The restaurant space is now occupied and open for business as well. So we appreciate all of your hard work for getting us to the finish line.
Thank you. Great project.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Who's running the restaurant?
It's a hospitality group called Bogia Hospitality. They're a new group.
Okay. Yes. Good, good. Any questions for applicant? What new sign up to speak in this?
Always in support, Commissioner. Like I can.
All right. Thereby, I'd like to request a motion that the commission certifies that the project has been substantially completed in accordance with the approved ordinance and meets the eligibility requirements for the Class L incentive for the Illinois Bell building. Is there a motion? So move Commissioner Boatright, and second by Commissioner Rubin. Commissioner Jekyll,
Yes.
Commissioner Bergen,
Yes.
Commissioner Fair,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolliver. Yes. And I am a yes as well. The motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Next item on the agenda is the program review community reports and.
Sure. Chairman, Program Committee reviewed 4 projects at its July 10, 2025 meeting. All 4 projects were approved with conditions, and the report summarizing the scope of the proposed project and the committee's decisions was included in your packets. This report is for your information for the record.
Thank you. Emily?
For the month of June, staff approved 115 permit applications. A total of 137 reviews were performed by the staff, and the average number of days to issue approval or correction was 6.4 days.
I'm sorry, did you say 137
Total reviews.
total
Yes,
reviews? How many is that per day?
a lot.
That's a hard one. Wow.
The team is
The
amazing.
team is amazing. That's incredible. That's fantastic. There being no further business, I'd like to request a motion to adjourn. Anybody? So, Commissioner Boatright, second, all in favor?
Hi.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. And Commissioner Dickwitz, what do you got?
Program Committee will begin at 1:40.
Okay. Well, enjoy that view. They would be.